citizens, you know who I am, the chairman of the United Corporations of America. I love you.
Why, hello, peasantry and worker underclass. It is I, Captain Slappy. Wait a minute. I've got an idea. I say we vote for number 6 with the brutal jackboot of the British FEMA camp, online FEMA camps, which I did predict smartly. But then again, that wasn't hard to predict. The problem is with this, or not the problem is with this. What I'm going to tell you is, let's skip to the end so I can just give you the end first, which is it's about to be a good time for private contractors, baby. If you want to get in with Home Office or one of them, feel free to go do so, because I would imagine YouTube and the others are now going to be like, well, we need individuals working closely with the UK different branches of the digital people and stuff. Bingo, y'all got a job. So don't never say I didn't do anything for you, Gaz, or anybody else. If you wanted to be a private contractor hunting down foreign assets and foreign espionage operations and foreign spies, all this shit, well, guess what? You get to do it. You can go do it. You can go get a job doing that shit now. Or soon enough, just start yourself a whatever 501c4 or something corporation and go be a private contractor. Because this is what I like. This is freaking great, baby. This is friggin' great. This is Baron von Boris, Death Star tier stuff, right? the reason Rusky Brand and Paul Joseph Twatson and the others are angry over this type of shit is because they're paid for in assets that are no longer going to be able to do it. Okay? I'm sure they think they're cool. I'm sure they think they're double agents. I'm sure they will say whatever they want to say. But in the end, you can kiss their asses goodbye, because if they stay on air, if they stay on platforms that are not going to tolerate their foreign horseshit, then you know who they're working for at that point. Okay? And that's what they will do. You would see someone like Paul Joseph Twatson immediately scream, "This is devil government, gay frogs," right? And then immediately turn around and say, well, I hate the Russians, or I hate whatever, Mossad doing illegal operations. That's what you're going to see them do, because they don't have a choice now. They're going to claim they're part of the system because they don't have a choice. They're not. They're obviously not. Or they're going to pull themselves off the system. What I'm hoping, or off the platform, what I'm hoping is that it sets, because I watched the deal from the Atlantic Council. Oh my God, Slappy, you watched a video from the Atlantic Council, devil government, Bilderberg ate my hamster. Yes, I did watch it. You know why? Because it's the Atlantic Council. Now, anyway, let's point out that this is going to impact the foreign botnet operations severely. Okay? So you're also going to see people like Paul Joseph Twatson suddenly lose all their viewership. And they're going to do it. They have to nix their botnet so they can fall under the threshold on the numbers of users to their specific stuff. So you watch what happens. They're going to claim, well, because devil government censorship, I don't have an audience anymore. In reality, they will have told their Moscow warehouse guys, sorry guys, I can't put in the order for my botnet today. I'm fucked. I can't do it. Now, and you're going, nice, when I told UK, vote for number 6, baby. Wow, did they just say, you know what? We ain't going to, harumph with their canes slapping on the floor. Harumph, harumph. With their bowler hats. Harumph. We'll just do it one better, Slapper. And just like, wow, you did do it one better. You did it so good. I'm impressed. I'm super impressed. But let's be clear. There will be exceptions for anyone named Gaz, who can do whatever he wants. That's a firm exception. All right, he can do whatever he wants. It'll be up to Gaz on what he'll probably say. They're coming for me. No, they're not coming for you. Come on, give me a break. You'll be all right, Gaz. You're fine. Everybody likes you, Gaz. You'll be all right. So again, I cannot legally impact British lawmaking and stuff like that. So I'm going to point out none of this is my fault. Whether it was or not doesn't matter. It's not my fault. Okay, so let's make that clear, because I do not want Her Royal Majesty's, or His Royal Majesty's, sorry, we have a king. They got a king now. Kicking in my fucking door and blackjacking my ass and press ganging me. Okay, we're not doing that. So I want it clear that I had no part in any of this. None whatsoever, and zero. So anyway, what was going to happen was going to happen on that. That's the level of child targeting, which we have discussed before for 15 fucking years in different ways. The Sovsit stuff, the Freeman on land stuff, that shit was full of foreign assets. Always. Okay? And for people bitching and moaning about my devil global government, the fuck, you're okay with the Russians going after your neighbor's underage kids to turn them into fucking terrorists? Evidently, that's okay. To fight for freedom. The fuck is wrong with you? All right. Well, obviously, Gaz is not okay with that, or none of the Britishers I'm aware are okay with that. They don't want basic overreach. But I'm going to point something out. You're fucked, buddy. You have Tommy Robinson and other paid foreign Russian motherfuckers in your neighborhood doing this shit, knowingly doing this shit. Okay? To be fair on Russell Brand, I did tell Papa Bagels, yes, you're right, Russell Brand's a fucking retard. He's burnt out in the brain. Okay? I'm not going to disagree. I can't argue my way out of that one. He's fucked in the head. He's just a brain stem, just a medulla oblongata walking around. All right, there ain't nothing in the front. All right, it's just a hollow space to store, currency in or whatever. It's just like a pocket in his skull. Okay, I'm not going to disagree with that, Papa Bacon. I'm not going to disagree with any of that. I'm just going to point out at some point Russell Brand said, oh yeah, those are Russians. I'm not supposed to be doing Russian propaganda with Russians and getting paid by them to do that. At some point, that crossed his mind because he kept on fucking doing it after people said, you know what, dude, you can't do that. At some point, he knew. And guess what? Katy Perry definitely fucking knew. Katy Perry. And I do love my Katy Perry. So, she was kind of clear about, well, I don't want to talk about the shit I know. It's like, no, ain't no need in talking about nothing along them lines. Katy Perry, we're good. We know. All right. Katy Perry is our gal. My point was, whatever happens, you can thank Rusky Bland for part of it, babies, kiddos. You can definitely thank him for that shit. This fucking idiot, he works so good for foreign governments, it's now the end of the road for basic propaganda operations. Now, let me be clear on a couple of points, because I did go ahead and comment this to the Atlantic Council. Not so much to them as much as to myself, so I would remember it for this video, because this is actually important, depending on how you want to look at it. And there's only one way to look at it, which is, in this case, y'all have the opportunity to go out. All of y'all, Brett, Mr. Brett, all of y'all that I know, now absolutely have the possibility of being paid advisors. Yeah, it'd be paid advisors on online operations by foreign governments. Okay, oddly, to the UK, which is a foreign government. Not gonna lie. Okay, but I think we all know I'm Captain Slappy, and we talk about, company colonies all day long. So I don't think anybody's going to be overly gripey about that, as long as you don't go do a Russell fucking Brand on them. All right. In which case, I'm not going to be able to help you if they're saying, hey, man, why do you keep requesting our user data from home office? Oh, yeah, I was just wanting to do some research. Don't do that. Do not. Your ass is going to prison. We know. You were compromised. No, my guys wouldn't do that. Our gals and our guys wouldn't do that. It wouldn't happen with us, right? Also, I'm putting Jack Black in charge of all that. That's correct. I'm sorry, kids. He's in charge now. So what he says goes. So now he can make money. I don't know how he would make money. He's Jack Black. How would you make money doing that? Anyway, so I commented to the Atlantic Council, probably not the smartest thing I've ever done, but not the dumbest shit I've ever done either. I said, very nice. I see some foreign agencies struggling to overcome their use of botnet to fluff their user numbers in targeting UK and US citizens, now trapping themselves under the new laws with no way out, excepting dropping the use of foreign botnet warehouses to lower their pseudo audience numbers to fall under the threshold, whatever the threshold is going to be that the UK sets up. So yes, someone was thinking ahead when they put this bill together. Okay? It's good to see someone sat down and said, let's make the threshold, this much or whatever for this corporation doing business here. Okay? The only way those foreign operations could continue would be in singular individual operators and operations within much smaller networks that will be much more highly monitored, which is true. That was coming anyway. That means Paul Joseph Twatson's preaching to less than 100,000 people to get under the threshold. Okay? And so now PJ Twatson clones himself, the Twatson clones. I thought Gaz would like that. The Twatson Twizzlers would clone themselves 5-10 times within their network, going, okay, you're no longer part of my network in the media sense. We have to make you your own thing, and we can't be seen together in public. Right now starts the foreign operation kayfabe. So Vince McMahon did have an impact on human society by pure accident as a fucking criminal. Who would have thought it? Right. So anyway, that's something that's going to be interesting to see, which I'm going to discuss here in just a second. So the only bypass to that initially will be a classic swamper model, which is a Russian model, hoping to statistically game the system on individual partisan backroom operations in losses. I know it sounds weird. Let me explain. Meaning it's a classic U.S. border problem. The hope would be to keep passing so many operators through. Now, they won't be a part publicly of each other's networks. They will in the background. You're seeing a lot of that now. Okay? I think we have pointed out some places on that one, huh? All right. Or assets, knowing or unknowing that the system itself cannot catch all the fish. That's just classic cartel. That's a classic criminal thing, which is a flock of seagulls. Let's throw this back to Sleek Chic on Murmuration. The game is, you're hoping 98% of nobody gets caught because you're going to sacrifice 2. Okay? So that does work in the real world to a degree, because what the problem is coming, which I'm going to point this out here, is that no matter what the UK does, it's not going to be able to monitor all. So that would mean the use of AI or whatever. Here's my point. There's not going to be enough humans in the world to do that for the UK. You'd have to take half your population and just make them do this job. Okay? Initially. All right? So, what they did is outsource and say, okay, it's all on you. You are a foreign corporation wanting to do business with my citizens. These are the rules. Absolutely legit, baby. That's how company colonies have always worked. Okay? A nice little Malines model, if you will. An Aleph model, if you will. Anyway, so that makes sense, and YouTube, of course, will sit and say, got it. That's what we'll do. And it's not going to bother them because obviously they're not going to want to lose revenue. Okay? And there are other ways to make revenue. By the way, we'll do a video over that one of these days. Alright? So, what we've got here is not a failure to communicate. It's a You have so much communication, you're going to fail to be able to take care of it all. But that's why I'm out here saying, hey guys, hey you people that I know, guess what? You have a new gold rush. Get on it. Okay? I mean, Atlantic Council. I'm Captain Slappy. Come on, Atlantic Council. You're talking to Captain. Come on, Rand Corporate. You know who I am? Raytheon. I'm Captain Slappy, baby. Alright? I'm not going to say I'm not going to make you no money. I mean, you ain't going to get no money to me, but whatever. Now, I can go out and privateer by law, can I? I can, because the UK will say, well, they'll probably say, we don't like Captain Slappy. Let's remember this. That's what they'll say. Never did like that motherfucker. That's what they'll probably say. And I'll be like, oh, come on, guys. I was just working in the company colonies, right? This is what you wanted. This is what you said it was. I've got to go do it now, right? That's how it works. So, you know, who knows? Maybe I might go out and start a Slappy Corps. And for real. And maybe I'll be based in Delaware. Anyway, you get my point. And then I'll go do stuff. You know what I mean? Anyway, so who knows? That all of this in turn will create a massive black market of shadow runners running smaller operations, which will increase in time in a Zeno's paradox of having the haves and splitting the hairs, as basic prisoner dilemmas are run through in variations to find weaknesses to exploit, which they will. Because there's somebody already. I always got to give props to FSB, GRU, KGB. All right, I always give these props, and you got to give it to Mossad too. I mean, they're brutal motherfuckers, man, brutal. Anyway, but specifically, let's stick with the Russian thing. The moment that they saw that, I'm late to the game compared to them. They saw this and was like, bingo, got it. Here's what we're going to do. We've got our playbooks. Here they are. Right? Now, you've got our domestic agencies, CIA, NSA, FBI, Cyber Command, Space Force, and all these other people, DIA, and they're going to sit down and go, oh, yeah, guess what's getting ready to happen? Now we're going to have to be extremely subtle to catch them. Right? Because if a foreign government is targeting UK citizens, which they are, then the US obviously has to sit in there somehow in the room and monitor. So they have information on how this is working out so they can jump the gun. Or not jump the gun. They can be ahead of the curve. Alright? So they can profit from it. That's the point of their existence. Right? Basic game theory stuff, kids. Super villain, well, not super villain, but the levels of world domination you can only dream of, but Taylor Swift does every day. Okay, so bottlenecking, this is going to be interesting, because this is going to bottleneck. Very interesting. This is where PJ Twatson is going to be too stupid to carry it out in execution, but he will attempt to do it and fail. Bottlenecking, which will increase price points, baby, and revenue generation on either side. One side, you're going to get your shadow runners, you're going to get your price points jacked up. Somebody like Slappy, let's say I'm one of them. Someone like Slappy, now worth 3 times as much because he's successful. My brand, what you would be doing is saying my brand is untouchable by law. All right, they love me so much over there at the UK, they'll let me slide. Now I'm worth 3 times as much to a foreign network. And everybody chuckles, and the UK's going to be saying, that's fine, smart ass, give me money. And you'll be like, it hurts, but okay. That's something that's going to happen. Old PJ Twatson's going to have a problem. All right, Revenue generation is also going to be great. It's going to be fucking great for the UK. Yay, Baron von Boris and King Charles the Ninth. They're going to have a good time. They're going to have a great time on this. Okay? I wonder if the King's Bench will be in on this. What do you think, guys? King's Bench? King's Bench Star Chamber. For online Star Chambers. And you're like, yes! Yes! FEMA camps. Yes! I've finally lived long enough to see the online FEMA camps. Which was coming because of the foreign agencies and stuff. And, of course, your domestic agencies are going to say, we've got to do something about this at some point. Yes, it's directly impacting kids saying, I'm a fully fledged Russian asset. I love Moscow. Let's overthrow the local county government. And you're like, okay, now we've got a problem, people. This is obvious. You have to stop this shit. The kid is in grade school screaming about fucking potato farms and how, it's the proletariat. It's like, you have to. This kid has access to weapons. You might want to slow this shit down some. Right? It's starting to cause serious fucking damage. Okay? So I am fully for it. I am interested. I got a question, people. I'm interested slightly on what the Knights of Malta are going to say on this. And you think, well, Slappy, that's a weird. No, not really. And because I think I know which way they're going to land on that one. And in extension, Pope Francis. I'm kind of interested on how they're going to fall on that. I mean, number 6 is never wrong. I'm not wrong on this. I did tell you, Berbers. Alex Jones didn't tell you. Alex Jones made sure it happened while he worked for a foreign government. When they do that shit, they're planning ahead. Not Alex Jones, but the people that handle his ass. So, someone like KGB running through the end there and there'd be archived, all this other shit. They're not morons. They know this is coming. So, they have to do something to control these private corporations that are just wailing on their fucking citizenry. So attempt to remember that, okay? That those operations are real, whether you like it or not. Those operations are fucking big. Hundreds of millions and billions of dollars go into that. You should be out there getting your cut legally. Okay, don't go work for a foreign government. Okay, don't do that. As we're learning, don't go do that, Russell. It'll get you. Okay. And thank you, UK. I said to vote for number 6, and internal security with Home Office definitely agreed. Okay? Yes. Yes. You knew it was coming because it had to come. Because Alex Jones had to make it happen. Not just Alex Jones. There's obviously Russians and Israelis and French and Germans and Chinese involved in all this shit. Because it's the Wild West. And these people have made sure the Wild West is going to end. So the good old days are gone. That's all there is to that shit, kids. You just got to get over it. Because what are you going to do? You're going to fight for the right for the Chinese to take over your shit. The minds of your children. That's your freedom of speech. That's what you're going to use that for. Or Russians or anyone else. Right? Well, I hate my government so much I'm going to work for a foreign government to make sure that they can succeed in their illegal propaganda operations. Okay, stop right there. That's all illegal, my man. Don't do that. Right? It should be common fucking sense, right? It's not. Because people do not realize. Fish do not realize when they're in the fishbowl. Okay? It happens. It happens. Calling them, well, you shouldn't call them stupid or more. They got wrapped up in shit. The ones that do it on purpose, feel free to just stomp them out. I look forward to the failure of PJ Twatson, who is a failure, to now hit rock bottom. And that's going to be great. I'm going to enjoy it. That is my gift to Gad. Gaz, that's my gift to you, baby. You get to watch that. You get to go dance over by your creek and your water wheel. You get to go dance and go, ha ha ha, told you so, and point your finger at him and say, fuck you, never did like you, you son of a bitch. You know, that's right. You can go ahead and go do that, Gaz. That's fine with me. So anyway, guess what, kids? Good times ahead for private contractors. Why wouldn't there be? Why wouldn't there be good times for private? This is definitely a good time. Feel free. Feel absolutely free to start a damn incorporated corporation or company and hit them up. Tell them Captain, well, maybe don't tell them Captain Slappy sent you. Couldn't be worse, I guess, than saying, well, Russell Brand sent me, because they're going to go, ooh, he did he? Don't go do that, Gaz. Don't go do that. Hey, Russell Brand sent me to come in for a job. No. PJ Twatson sent me in for a job. No. No. So a good old purge is always good. The old roll jackboot, baby, or parliamentary corporation, slippers, Crocs, the rubber Crocs of Parliament. That's correct. All we need now is Nutka. That's what we need right now, Nutka. And somebody will say, Nutka, I don't understand. Don't worry about it. You don't need to understand it. It's Tom Hardy. Okay? Nutka. We need more Nutka. But careful now. Be very careful now, Anon. Very careful. More Nutka posting. All right? And we need to put Tom Hardy also in charge of something. I don't know. Whatever. Of Nutka posting, I guess. Of Nutka. So, what does that mean? Okay, you've got a gold rush going on. Granted, it's a foreign gold rush, but you can walk right in there and say, hey, you know what? I'm pretty good at this, so I expect to hear some of y'all say, hey, I talked to so-and-so, we had good times. Or don't say that. Actually, don't say that in public to anyone anywhere. That would be weird. But the point was, if you were going to do any private contracting work, now you can. Okay? Super simple. I have considered actually doing actual private contracting. Privateering. It wouldn't be privateering per se. Private contracting is not privateering, but it is kind of, but it's not. Okay, so anyway, privateering is when you use pirates, and the pirates say, well, we hate everyone equally. Because a good pirate hates everyone equally and is more than happy to take everyone's stuff. I'd be like, mine. But you got to be good to your pirate crew, right? I mean, you can't just be an asshole, floating around on the internet ocean and just broadsiding everyone, even people you may marginally like. I mean, just don't do that. Don't be an ass. Okay? Don't do that. Or do that. I don't know. You're a pirate. You're supposed to know, if you're pirating as a private contractor, you're supposed to know better. Anyway, so, what do we got? We finally got number 6. And man, was it great. I'm okay with that. Okay? I am okay with how this turned out. And you'll say, there's always somebody. Oh my God, Slappy, my rights. Oh, you wasn't using your fucking rights anyway. You're bitching on the internet. And guess what? Guess what's going to happen now? Guess what's going to happen now? So, you'll see some interesting rat lines forming in and out. Some spider tunnels being dug in the internet. Spider holes. And so tunnel rats will be running back and forth all over. I can see how this is going to go, and it's going to be pretty fucking glorious, because you're going to have like little groups of people going out there digging up their backyard, their internet backyard, and oh look, it's Paul Joseph Twatson in the in the spider hole, the tunnel rat. He's in the tunnel there. Look at him, everybody. And he's going like, no, I got caught. And it's like, yep, that'll be the end of that. So, as much fun as it is, it's going to be a lot much funner. Just saying. Always love my Tay-Tay. Tay-Tay is Empire. Empire good. As long as as far as I'm concerned. So, I guess that's it, kids. This is way too long a video for something so simple, but it's slightly more complex. You can definitely see some people are sitting down going, I wonder how to do a panopticon. And you're like, hey, you know how I would do it? And then they go, I'm going to do it better than that. And you go, well, I didn't say I ran it, man. I didn't say I was the one that ran it. But also, it's good to see it finally occur because, again, you're being targeted by foreign agencies and everything, and I do not know or understand why the fuck the first thing out of your mouth would be, I really need the Russians to be embedded in my local kindergarten, my local public school system to, attempt to overthrow the government at some point in time. What the fuck are you doing? Right? What the fuck do you think you're doing? This has been covered for 100 and something years. What the fuck do you think you're doing? Are you even thinking? Then we go back to the Russell Brand deal. It's like, listen, Papa Bagel, I got to give it to him. I can't argue the point. Russell's burnt the fuck out. But yeah, he also has to take personal responsibility. Okay? That is what it is. So anyway, I'm done with this. Hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much, King Charles IX and Baron von Boris Johnson. And I enjoyed it quite a bit. Harumph taps the cane, tap, tap, tap. Bowler hat. Anyway, so tip the top hat, tip the bowler hat, doffs the cap, however you want to do it. That was good times. That was good times. It's going to be really good times shortly. And you're going to get to say, wow. And I will say, told you so.